Buzz, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some massive news from the K-pop world. And if you're an IVE fan, or just someone who loves to follow groups that are absolutely dominating globally, you're gonna want to stick around for this. Because honestly, this isn't just news. This is a statement, a power move. And yes, I'm gonna share my personal thoughts along the way, and I want to hear yours too. So here's what's happening. IVE, the girl group that has been skyrocketing since their debut, is officially entering Kyocera Dome Osaka in 2026 as part of their second world tour, Show What I Am. And not just for one night, but for two, April 18th and 19th, a full dome concert in Japan. Again, now, if you've been following K-pop long enough, you know what it means when an artist gets to perform at a dome in Japan. It's not just a venue. A dome is a status symbol. It basically means, yes, we are that big. And the fact that IVE is entering Kyocera Dome, especially right after Tokyo Dome last year, tells us something very clear. They're not just rising stars anymore. They are solidified. They're planted. They're here to stay. Let's talk about the numbers, because the numbers alone tell a story. During their first world tour, also called Show What I Am, IVE pulled in 420,000 fans. That's almost 500,000 people. 37 shows, 28 cities, 19 countries. And these aren't just local stops in Asia. They went to the Americas, Europe, the whole map. That's the kind of tour footprint you usually see from groups that have been around for at least 5 to 7 years. IVE did that basically within the early stages of their career. And here's what really made my jaw drop. Their encore concert at Tokyo Dome. This was their first time performing at Tokyo Dome, which is already a huge milestone. Tickets sold out immediately. Not surprising, but still impressive. But what really hit me was the turnout. 95,000 people across both days. Think about that. 95,000 bodies in one place. Loud, screaming, singing along. And that's not counting the millions who were probably refreshing Twitter or TikTok trying to see clips of the show. Major Japanese media outlets didn't just report the concert. They put it on their front pages. Some even released special editions dedicated solely to the show. And you know Japanese media? When they go all in, it means the impact was undeniable. I basically took over the Japanese entertainment scene for those days. Now, fast forward to their second world tour, opening at the Kyocera Dome, the venue previously known as the Olympic Gymnastics Arena. October 31st to November 2nd, 3 consecutive days. And again, they filled the venue with energy, teamwork, and a level of performance that people are still talking about. Every member performed unreleased solo stages. That alone says something about how much they've grown musically. It's not easy to put out solo performances that haven't been tested in public before. You need confidence, you need practice, and you need the trust of your fandom. I've had all three. Personally, this is what I love to see from a group. Growth, risk-taking, confidence. They're not just repeating the same formula, they're pushing themselves creatively. When you think about it, IVE has only been in the industry for a few years, debuting in 2021 in Korea, and then officially debuting in Japan in 2022. And yet here they are, dome-level artists. It's almost surreal. And speaking of Japan, let's not forget their Japanese fan concert tour earlier this year, IVE Scouts in Japan. 11 concerts, 4 cities, 100,000 attendees. That's huge. And that's not even including their Korean concerts, festival stages, brand events, or other appearances. It feels like every time I turn around, IVE is somewhere, doing something, and pulling in crowds like it's nothing. But let me throw this question to you, because I genuinely want to know how the viewers of Buzz feel about this. Do you think IVE is officially in their dome artist era? Or do you think this is just the beginning before they hit stadium levels worldwide? Because right now, the trajectory is looking crazy. If they're doing domes in Japan in 2026, what's stopping them from doing stadiums in Korea, Southeast Asia, or even Europe next? Nothing, honestly. And here's where my own opinion comes in, and feel free to disagree because this is why I love our comment section. I actually think IVE is becoming one of those rare K-pop groups whose popularity is balanced between Korea, Japan, and the global market. Most groups usually dominate in 1 or 2 regions, But to have a strong Korean fan base, a massive Japanese following, and rising global numbers all at the same time, that's a lot of pressure for a young group, but they're handling it extremely well. Diving deeper into this Kyocera Dome announcement, I feel like it also speaks to their long-term planning. You don't just casually book a dome 2 years ahead. This tells me that the industry itself and the Japanese concert organizers have full confidence that IVE's popularity will not only remain stable, but grow even more by 2026. And that says something bigger about their staying power. Let's also talk about performance quality. IVE has always been strong vocally, visually, and conceptually, but their second tour opening at Kyocera Dome really highlighted their maturity. When fans said their live stages are getting cleaner and more stable, they meant it. And when reviewers say the members showed solid teamwork and mature musical abilities, that's not just lip service. You could see it in the fan cams, you could hear it in the live notes, and you could feel it in the crowd reactions. So think about what this means for a dome concert. Domes are huge spaces. Sound travels differently. Stages are enormous. The pressure is higher. But IVE has already proven they can handle it. And now they're preparing to take on Kyocera Dome with that same energy. But I want to check in with you guys because this part is always interesting. What do you think is the key reason IVE managed to grow so fast? Is it their music quality? Is it Starship's marketing? Is it the members' charisma? Or is it timing, visuals, vocal ability, or maybe even luck? I feel like every fan has a different answer, and I want to know yours. Drop it in the comments because this is something I'd love to discuss. For me personally, I think IVE fills a very specific gap in the current K-pop landscape. They're not just cute, they're not just girl crush, they're not just elegant, they're not just retro. They are a blend of all of those things, but packaged in a way that feels modern and mature. Songs like Love Dive, 11, and I Am don't sound like typical 4th-gen music. They're polished, catchy, memorable, and they appeal to both casual listeners and hardcore fans. And that's why they're filling domes. But here's another thought I had. When you compare IVE's achievements to the timeline of other big girl groups, Twice, Blackpink, Red Velvet, SNSD, most groups take years before reaching domes. IVE reached them within just a few years. Now, does that mean they're oversized for their age? Or does it mean the K-pop industry is evolving so quickly that newer groups can rise faster if they hit the right formula? I think it's a mix of both, but I'm curious what you think. As we wrap up the news, here's the recap. IVE will officially perform at Kyocera Dome Osaka on April 18 and 19, 2026, as part of their second world tour, Show What I Am. This follows their wildly successful Tokyo Dome Encore show, their 3-day KSLP Dome concerts, and their Japanese tour that drew 100,000 fans. They're bigger than ever, and they're still rising. So now it's your turn. How do you feel about IVE entering Kyocera Dome? Do you think they're becoming the next global girl group phenomenon? And if you could attend one concert, Tokyo Dome, Kyocera Dome, or their K-pop Dome show, which one would you pick and why? I love reading your thoughts, and your comments genuinely help build the community we're creating here on Anyang Buzz. Thank you for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep the notifications on because there are more K-pop updates coming, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.